It's probably hanging over too much. Hey, it's 9:32. We're right on time. And look who's here. Becky's here today. Hi. So Becky is back. I like to do that. Becky is back. And happy Monday, everybody. We're glad you're joining us. And I'm really glad Becky's joining us because she's brought all kinds of fun. Oh, let me move this light out of the way. I think that's what Doug meant about adjusting the lights, get them out of our viewing area. She's brought all kinds of fun projects. And if you guys know Becky, you know she's a huge Tim Holtz fan, along with other things like this little basket of eggs. So we've got Easter projects. And Becky, what other kinds of things are we doing today?
Easter, and then just some odds and ends Tim Holtz.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
That's a $49 a market.
Love it. So Becky is going to show us her projects, and she told me today that she even wrote down some directions for us, which is an extra little perk, I would say. And we've got the products that she used. And before we get back to Becky, I just want to tell everybody welcome and show what we did last Friday when you guys were here. Hope you were here last Friday. Oh, Robin says it's snowy in South Dakota. Becky, we had our snow on Friday, but no snow today. Just rain, lots of rain. So anyhow, last Friday we determined our champion of our crafty distress brackets, and Tequila took the whole tournament. And if you guys have been watching the basketball brackets, we had our distress brackets. And here you can kind of see the whole thing. So Friday, it got down to Toes in the Sand and Tequila Sunrise. And what we did was we had projects and product for both. And I'll just give you a little once over here so you could see it. Sounds like it's snowing in Canada also, Becky.
Burr.
And they already love your mosaic page, and they love your eggs that we gave a little peek. So here was Tequila Sunrise, and it was ripe persimmon, abandoned coral, and mustard seed. And then here is Toes in the Sand projects that actually Teresa helped with a lot of these. And we had brushed corduroy, tumbled glass, and picked raspberry. And then we had, out of the blue, we decided to do some extra bonuses. This was Toes in the Sand, and this was Grandma's Perfume. Looks like a lot of rain. And you know what, Becky? I just remembered that I set something down and I don't know where it is. Chris, do you have a magazine?
Yes.
Chris is going to bring us. So today, starting today, we are having a special. Thank you. I set this down somewhere, but starting today, we're going to be giving away the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine with any $50 merchandise purchase, and it's while supplies last. This is a really nice magazine. It's totally free with your purchase, and I'm just flipping through it so you can look at it a little bit and see all the fun pages. And speaking of our crafty distress brackets, there's 20 years of Tim Holtz distress right there. So anyhow, so get your orders in or stop in and see us, and you'll have this spring and summer issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, and it's absolutely free. And isn't that just a little cutie pie on the front page? All right, so we've got Linda here from Vancouver. Jan says Tequila can do that, take over in so many ways. There is a song about, a country western song about tequila. Pretty cards. Good morning from Carlisle. And Beth, I apologize, but we cannot sell those magazines. We can only give them away. It's some type of weird policy. She's wondered if she could purchase one.
Did you have a card or something? I think that's where you left
Oh,
it.
there's my pile. Becky found my pile over here. So yes, I did have. Here's my pile, and I brought it also because Sharon sent to us a Easter card. I don't know if you saw this, Becky, but check out this Easter card from Sharon, you guys.
I love that Mr. Rabbit.
Oh, it's Mr. Rabbit, and all the background from the Mr. Rabbit stamp. And I'm sure Becky has this stamp.
Of course.
Of course she does. So, and then look at when you open it up, it's so fun on the inside. It's got just Easter paper. So what a great idea to line the inside of your cards with some bright and cheery Easter paper, or whatever paper you're making, birthday or whatever. So Sharon, thank you. It is beautiful, like Peggy says. So thank you so much. Mr. Rabbit, we love him. And there's been a lot of cool makes with him. I'm not sure what she colored him with. It looks maybe like Copic markers.
That could be the watercolor pencils.
Or the watercolor pencils, true. All right, I think it's rainy and snowy in a lot of places, Becky.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's great crafting time.
Yes, it is.
That's the perfect time to craft.
Yep, it is. I
So
even got rain and hail on my way.
I know Becky got hailed on her way here to Memory Bound this morning.
But
so.
it stopped over Memory Bound. We got in and didn't get wet.
Yeah, you can pull up in the parking lot and it's clear. It's like a little
Yes.
big giant umbrella, happy umbrella over the top of Memory Bound. So I'm just looking to. Oh, the song is "Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off." And snowy Wisconsin, Oshra's here, and Beth and Denise. Good morning, Kathy. There's so many people here right now. And they're lucky because Becky's here in Memory Bound in our studio, if we can call it that.
I feel like it with these lights now.
Okay, here's another song, Wasted Away in Margaritaville. So that's another good one. Anyway, congratulations to Tequila Sunrise. Okay, and Sandy says hello to Kelly and Chris. She's going back to the Woodlands. Sandy was here visiting, and she flew into Chicago. I think this is the same Sandy, and then drove over here with her sister-in-law. And Sharon used watercolor pencils. Becky, you were right. Sorry, I'm just reading, but I'm not sharing what I'm reading. So Sharon said this was watercolor pencils. It turned out really nice. Mr. Rabbit, good job. All right, well, Becky, I think we've got a lot of people here, and they're wanting to know what you're making.
All right, well, since there's Mr. Rabbit on that card.
We're going to start with Mr. Rabbit.
Let's
What a
start
good
with Mr.
transition.
Rabbit.
Oh, here we go.
And I just took the clipboard and added a backdrop paper, and then used the stamps in the background, and I used the ones that came with Tim, and then I used the Elizabeth Craft stitch die.
Oh, yeah,
And I forgot that one to grab.
that's
that.
okay.
Is that back here?
I don't see it. Yes, it is, Becky.
Where?
See that black album?
Oh,
that's
back
in-
there.
Okay,
Yep, yep, yep.
Becky's found it. So she's used Mr. Rabbit, and you guys, Mr. Rabbit is out at Memory Bound, but he's hopping back into inventory probably today or tomorrow. And so is Oshra. She says she's stopping by. Okay, here's stitch borders from Elizabeth Crafts. And this also has a die that goes with it where you can cut out the florals. So I really like that one. I thought that was a pretty cool to get your stitching.
Yep.
And then the clipboard, in case you're wondering about her clipboard, that is a Tim Holtz and clipboard, and it's only $4.99. And Becky, what I love about it is the fact that these little screws come off. Because I've worked with clipboards before, and it's kind of awkward. It's a little awkward, but not for Tim's.
But this has nice screws in the back. You just unscrew it and then screw it back in. It works really slick. And it's not real big, so it's quick
It's a good
to do.
size. It's perfect for Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah. And I stamped him on there, and then I re-stamped it on another piece of paper and then cut him out. So I would still have his whiskers.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And I wouldn't have to worry. I didn't want to have to cover him up and do all that stuff when I did my background stamps.
Well, that's very, very clever. When you said you stamped him, I'm like, why did she do that? But now I get it.
Yeah. So I didn't want to have to mess with masking and everything.
Right.
And then I just colored it with watercolor pencils, added a little charm on it. It was a charm, and I had to cut the end off on the top.
Oh, here we go. Yep.
Yeah. And then just added some ribbon and made a quick Easter project.
Very cute. And you guys, we don't have the stamp to show you, but the egg dies and the little dots.
I got it.
Oh, Becky's got hers here.
I brought my stuff.
It's all
just in
on the
case.
stamp set with Mr. Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh, Becky, show us your...
Ooh, Becky.
Whoa, we like this kind of stuff.
Well, when I cleaned my craft room, I put all my stamps and binders like this and labeled them all. And
gosh.
I found out I have a stamp problem because I had a lot of
I'm
binders.
guessing you have a lot of problems just from seeing, just from...
Thanks, Kelly.
Oops, I'm sorry, I just spit across the table. I mean, because she's got a lot of stuff. And she loves Tim Holtz.
So they bring, so my other stamps I just do like this, but Tim's,
Those are those Tim's pockets?
no, this
is
comes
different.
with the binder
Okay.
itself.
But look at this, how organized it is.
And I have this I just threw all the ones that I used in case there was something that came up. But this is Mr.
There he
Rabbit.
is. Okay. Okay, so you do get, what
You
is
get
it, 5
several,
dies.
yeah.
And,
And
it's
these
really
are,
good backgrounds.
especially this, I think I'll be using
It's
all
kind
year
of
round.
a messy plaid or
Yeah,
kind of
an
a rubbed off
yeah.
plaid.
So
Good. I love your organization. I'm a little jealous.
it's turned out pretty
Mine
nice
are
in
in
my room.
like a box, and now my
Oh,
box
yeah,
is
you need
full,
a
so
something.
now they're laying on the side of it.
Oh, no. This is very nice.
And they love your idea of stamping it twice to get
Yeah.
the whiskers and things. That's a great technique.
And one thing, I would tend to overcut versus undercut because I undercut a couple places, but I kind of did some ink on the edges so that it would kind of cover it up.
Yeah, you
I
don't
can
notice
see
that
it,
at all.
but I don't think other people will. But I would kind of overcut a little
He's
bit.
such a
next time.
gentleman, isn't he? With
He's
his
so
bow
cute.
tie and his vest.
And I saw somebody that turned him into a girl and made a dress.
Did they put a bow on it?
They made this into like a dress and cut out papers and made dresses and legs.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It was adorable.
Well, Sharon says she has 2 boxes of Tim Holtz. So I think a lot of us have a Tim
Yeah.
Holtz problem.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to buy it because you don't know if you're going to be able to get it again, right?
Well, the stamps you can always get.
They say they keep making the stamps, but
But the other stuff, it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone.
yeah.
And
We're all
then-
waiting for his new ideology to come out.
Yeah,
Becky.
I can't wait. That's my downfall is the ideology. And then I made,
Oh,
this
this
is
is
out
beautiful.
of an etc. tag. And he had this color, where everything was colorized. Oh, can I get it over there?
Here, we need to move
this.
things closer. Oh, yes.
And he had
He got a little more colorful
Yeah.
in his last release because this is volume 5.
so I used one of the purple background drops and the purple, I think I used a little bit of this and then some of the purple ephemera that came. They had an ephemera.
So the
the same
backdrops
time.
are all colorized, and then these collage strips are also colorized. And Therese has been using these on her color wheel.
Yeah. And it's just kind of nice because everything within the packages.
And then you were able to use that on
Yeah.
here, and it all matched.
And then I added some of the metallic frames, these, and buttons. And then this was off of her bowling shirt.
So this is really like a family member?
Yeah, this is my husband's great aunt.
Oh
and then
my
this was her high
gosh.
school commencements thing. And,
Oh my gosh.
and this was off of a pair of earrings that she had. She loved purple, that's why I did purple. But I kind of combined some of the new stuff with the old stuff.
That's off her bowling shirt? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, Becky.
And I took one of the, I don't remember if it was a backdrop, this backdrop paper, and I ripped it in 3 different pieces, because this is too big.
Right, yeah, it's
So I ripped pieces and kind of stitched it. And then after I got all my stitching done, I glued it to the etc. tag, added my ephemera, my picture frames, and my medals. I like medals on stuff.
so she graduated in 1945. Is this her too? This
Yeah. Yep.
postcard?
Yeah, she loved to have pictures taken of herself.
Oh my gosh, I do love this. This
She
is
sent
great.
that to her boyfriend at the time. He was overseas, so she said.
That's probably what you did.
So it looks harder than it is. You just have to.
It's it looks like you just kind of keep adding stuff.
You just add and
then
add and add,
You're
and then
combining some real family things with some of the Tim Holtz,
And then I added some of that black texture paste.
which is permanent it is in the collection now from
Yeah.
Ranger. It's not temporary.
And then I just added a loop pin with some charms, and this was a necklace of hers, so I just added that on there. So,
That's really special.
and I was worried about the purple because, and Diane thought I was nuts doing purple because she don't, we don't do purple.
It is my daughter and my grandson's favorite color, though. But I know what you mean for
Yeah.
like home decor and things.
Yeah, and we both said we don't even own anything purple to wear. So, but when I hung it with my other old pictures, and I had a quilt that had a little piece, like an 8x10 quilt picture, and it had a picture of my great grandma in it, and it had a little bit of purple. So it
all goes together.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought that, but.
And here's another one of the little frames with the chipboard piece that fits into it, and we have those.
So that's what that one is.
So Becky, do you have like a display of? Is that like at your home? You have all of these on
display? I've got
display?
a wall that I'm adding on. I have some old pictures on there.
Oh, cool.
And so I just am adding these as I make them.
Yeah. Well, Laura said she loves this. Purple's her favorite color.
But not mine.
And Janet says it's a wonderful
not a purple
heritage. Wonderful heritage. And look how she just left her strings
My mom
from
would,
the sewing.
if I had her in my house, she would cut these strings off if I wasn't there.
I know. I remember when I used to sew, that was the thing that was the big pain is every time you stopped, you had to cut your little strings off.
And I even added more strings behind this picture.
Yep.
So
I think it's crazy that you had her bowling shirt.
Yeah.
Somebody's saving
She
stuff.
saved everything. Absolutely everything. And then I took, let's get both of these, and we'll talk about them at the same time. These are just, well, this is a canvas, and this is a wood panel.
So the wood, and they're the same size.
Well, this is a little bigger.
Oh, it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So the wood panel, we have been showing this a lot. It's $12.99. It's the vignette display panel. And we have used it for a tray where we put like, what do you call it, acrylic, a piece of acrylic inside on top of some paper. And so those are really handy. And you've used that and a canvas. We have canvases too.
So then I took the material, the number one and the, what do you call this, color block?
Color block.
And I took the tiniest one, and I stitched and quilted.
Oh
I
my
put
gosh, I got to get up close. So you did a lot of stitching.
Yeah, I did that warm and natural, or is that what it's called? That batting?
Oh, the batting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I took that and I stitched on my machine. And at first I did every 4, like here, but I thought that was too big, so then I went back but I didn't want to do every tiny one.
Right.
So I settled on every 4 I would.
So you actually put batting, you stitched batting to it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see in there.
You can kind of see.
Or maybe here, you can see on here a little bit more. But I put batting.
So these fabrics you can buy by the yard, the half yard, or in crafty cuts. Mm-hmm. And a crafty cut would probably work because it's 12 by 22.
That's what I did. And I had plenty of material left over. So I could definitely do another one or more. So after I did that, I added some lace in my machine and just stitched some more. And stitched on the ephemera. Wadded the ephemera up, of course.
Oh, of course. So you wadded it.
I wadded
Did you
it
get
up.
it wet at all or just
No,
wadded up?
I didn't this time. I do sometimes, but I just wadded it up and then inked it and stitched some of it and then glued it all on. Added a butterfly, some charms.
But wait, look at your butterfly. That's a technique I want to remember. So
And
for
then-
the body, she stitched it and just left the thread.
Yeah, for the antenna.
That is so clever. Oh my gosh, Becky, that's amazing.
And then I should have stitched on the buttons, but by the time I got to the end, I was like, I'm done sewing. So I just glued them on.
So it's got a few little buttons,
Yeah.
a little charm. Looks
And
like
this-
a loop pin.
This picture was one that at the crop, Jackie gave me 3 old pictures.
So Jackie, if you're watching, you
this
might
is from
recognize
you.
this. This might be a family member.
Yeah, and I told her that I would do one on a video, so here you go. And I colored some of it with watercolor pencils. And I think this looks like Kelly. It's
She
like
thinks-
one of Kelly's relatives.
She thinks, even though she got it from Jackie, it's
Yeah,
one
but-
of my relatives.
But she got it out of her daughter worked at a museum in
Oh,
Texas.
okay. So it wasn't
So it's
really
not
a
one of her
family
relatives,
member.
no.
So it was okay to
So-
give it away.
Yeah, so it really could be
It could
a
be
distant
me.
relative.
It could be. I don't know if I have anybody from Texas, but maybe. Perhaps.
So, and then I did one of your diamond earrings on a loop.
Oh,
pin.
I love my Tim Holtz diamonds. I need to
So-
wear those.
Did I?
I need to dress up so I can wear those.
Yes. So that's what this one is. And it's kind of colorful.
It's very colorful. And this fabric, this is the 1/2 inch block, but it also comes in a 1-inch where the blocks and also a 2-inch.
And I should have done one of those, but I just like the smallness of this.
I think it looks good.
But-
I think it looks really good.
But when I went to quilt, I was like, why didn't I get one of the big
Then you wanted the bigger one. So figure out what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, you don't just have to sew a project with it. You can do a piece like this. Where I would normally
Absolutely.
use paper, you can use the material for a different look. And I did the same thing on here. These were bigger squares. So I just went around the squares.
It just adds a little more depth to your project.
Yeah, it's something a little different. I added some nails.
Elena says diamonds are for any time, Becky. So
Yep.
very true.
And then I added ephemera, some metals, the gears, and the hardware heads. Added some stickers, some stars, and one of the quote chips.
So just a lot of ideology
Yeah.
here, except for these branches.
Yeah.
I'm going to call them branches
I
because
have
they're a
to
little
add
bit
my
bigger than
sticks.
Maggie's twigs.
Yeah. It's what I had in my basement without having to go outside.
Okay, I understand.
So I use those.
Oh, Janet says, Becky, she loves the gathered twigs. Now, who is this person?
This is
a-
my grandfather,
Okay. Oh my gosh.
his military picture. So I
Very
thought
handsome.
that kind of fit with the
I agree. I think the numbers.
numbers. So,
Very
so that's
cool.
what that one is. So that's all the.
I think we're going to want to see a picture of your wall, maybe when you get it done.
So then here, let's do Easter
Okay,
now.
we
Move
got
to
Easter time,
So
guys.
this is this.
What's that called? The vignette divided drawer.
Yeah. So that's what this one is. And then I took these backdrops again, and these are all the same things. I used both of these.
So the
And-
collage
yeah.
strips and the backdrop.
And I used the ephemera because on the I had decorated
Look
the
at that
outside.
back.
So this is the backdrops, and then on the sides I just used ephemera
Just collage.
and went around, collaged it on, and then did it on the bottom too. I don't know. Nobody's
Well,
gonna
you
see
should do
that.
the bottom though.
But in case
'cause-
somebody picks it up. And then on the inside, it's a little bit smaller, so then I could use these strips to decorate the edges.
So the okay. So the collage strips.
Yeah. And then for the back, I used ephemera from my stash.
So you
And
get
then-
your stuff out, lay it out, and just use it.
Yeah. And then I used a paper doll and colored them in with watercolor pencils, and the same with down here, but I added those wings, transparent wings.
Okay, I was trying to figure out about that. I do
Yeah.
remember the wings.
And then Tim showed last year that you could buy one of the bird nests, like from the Dollar Tree or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
And this time of the year, all that stuff's really cheap. So I bought some last year but didn't have time. And then I alcohol inked some eggs and just put some green grass. And then up here was the same thing. I used alcohol inks, but I was totally amazed. I always mushroom everything, so it dulls it down. I did not know that the alcohol ink was this shiny.
So did you mushroom it, or
No,
you,
I did
you
not,
didn't?
because it was Easter. I thought.
Oh,
Easter
I was
eggs
going to
are-
say that they really pop.
Yeah,
I think
they're
when you
just-
look at this, you just. I'm going to pull back a little bit because I just think the bright eggs make it all pop.
But I had no clue that they would be that bright and shiny. And then what else did I do? Oh, I added a dog ephemera, and then added the thimbles and put flowers, and I alcohol inked the flowers.
Okay, because those come white, don't
Yeah.
they?
And then I did, what else did I do? I got to look real quick. Oh, I took to age my rabbit.
Yeah, I want to know what you did with your
I did
rabbit.
like I did my toy soldier at
Okay,
Christmas.
yeah.
I painted it black, did the foundry wax on top of that, and then sanded it so I could see the black and silver. And then I took alcohol ink over the top to make it look more antique-y.
It reminds me of those old molds.
Yeah.
You know, they'd have like an old egg mold or something, and they look kind of like that, silvery, and
Yeah.
it's really cool. So just to review for everybody, you painted it black, and,
And
then
then foundry wax.
wax.
And then sanded it. And then went to alcohol ink on top
Okay.
of that. So, and you could just do one of the little blocks and just do one of these.
do one little thing. I like that you talk about that because you've said before that if you want to do some of these projects, and Becky, you've done some amazing,
'Cause some of
very
mine is-
detailed, but this is a good way to start, and you've told people
Yeah.
that before.
And just, I
and-
mean, because this, here would not take any time at all.
Right.
Just some eggs.
Just get
and-
your stuff
and
out
serve.
and
or this.
Right. So you could do just one little box, and we
Yeah.
have those.
Yeah, because you've got all different sizes of boxes.
And I think we have that fence too. Somebody made a comment. Elena said it's good to know that that fence fits right across there.
Yeah,
He-
I didn't have to cut it at all.
I think he kind of plans that out. Don't
Yeah.
you think he
I
kind
think-
of knows
yeah,
his
he kinda knows
main
what he's doing, yeah.
dimensions?
But this, like she said, this stuff, if you don't get it when it comes out, you're not going to get
Yeah,
it.
the ideology you want to buy. If
Yeah,
you,
because there's some that's every day, but a lot of it is seasonal. And
that box is only $7.99. And I've seen it used like Becky is using for like kind of a vignette, but you can also lay
Yep.
it down and fill it with cards or photos, and it works really well for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here comes Peter Cottontail.
and these, I think Teresa showed these, didn't she?
We
before?
did it. She did them a couple years ago, but not with this. I don't think this tree was available.
I used the small trees, but you can use the bigger trees. It doesn't matter.
You guys, believe it or not, these are the woodlands, the bottle brush trees.
And you just spray them with orange.
Distress spray.
Yeah, that was hard.
Spray stain.
But I didn't have orange spray stain, so but
What'd
I had
you do?
but I had mica stain.
Oh, okay,
So I
yeah.
used my mica stain, and I would have used a lighter color, but my thing was jammed up, so I got to get a new nozzle. But all you do is this, like he said, this time of the year, this stuff's so cheap, and I just bought a cheap
I
thing
love
of
the
greenery.
greenery that you added.
But it's got to be the kind that when you pull it off, it's got a hole.
Okay,
And most of them do, the cheaper stuff especially.
yeah.
And you can get any type, but like this isn't really the greens that
But
it
I think
is.
I love it.
But just find some greenery, cheap greenery, and you just pull the ends off and unscrew the wood disc on the.
Okay, so you take off the
Yeah,
bottom.
take off the disc, and then you just have that wire, and you just take the greenery and just plop it on, and then put a little bit of glue from your glue gun,
Okay.
and then it just sticks there.
Well, I think I love these with the greenery on them. I've seen them where they'll put ribbon on them or like
Or the-
raffia
yeah.
or something, but I think the greenery is
But it's
awesome.
just, and this, I mean, this is
They're
super
so
quick. You
and they're
just spray
fun.
it and put it on, and then you have a little grouping.
Hey, and if you've got some leftover woodland
Tree, it's a
trees,
good- yeah.
or if you want to get a few and try it out, we've still got those in stock.
Yeah. That's just a quick project, too.
I love it.
And then this is another quick project. It's just, I took out one of his rabbits, and I painted it brown, and then just kind of wiped a little bit off so it looked like wood.
Oh, so that's not even with the foundry wax and everything.
No, it's
That's
just the-
painted.
Yeah. Yep. And then I just added a little greenery, tied a piece of twine around it, and there you got a little
Wow.
decoration. And he showed how to make it look like chocolate, and you paint it brown, and then you put enamel glaze over the top,
Okay.
and then you sand it a little bit because that's kind of shiny.
Mm-hmm.
And you sand it down a little bit so you got a little bit of shine, a little bit of dull, and it looks like a chocolate rabbit. And I did do that, but I didn't bring that one, but it's turned out kind of cute.
I bet.
But like I said, this is just a quick.
Well, it's just a
It
fun
took me
thing
two
to
ti-
sit
yeah.
around or even give to somebody to sit
Yeah.
on their desk, or people that have limited space,
Yeah.
you know. It's
Super
a nice
quick.
little Easter decor.
And then I made a bunch of these this year and put them on. I didn't do snarky on my grandkids, but the other people.
Your other people got snarky,
Yeah.
but not the grandkids.
And these are super simple. And Tim showed this. It's just, I used ink on some of them in the background and smushed it. This is just mica spray sprayed on there because it was quicker. And then I just took you can use paper dolls, you can use these heads, like here.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, these would be perfect.
Yeah.
So these are called portraits. They're the paper doll portraits, and I'll flip it over to the back. They're $7.99, and I'll flip it over here so you can see all the different options. And there would be a lot.
Yeah, because I use the kid ones for my grandkids.
And
And
then
yeah.
you get 42.
Yeah, but you can, if you've got paper dolls, you can do the same thing with paper dolls or the square pictures that he had. I forget what those are called.
The
But,
snapshots, maybe?
Yeah.
Or
and then I just used watercolor pencil to color her in, and then I did pink crayon for her cheeks.
okay.
and then cut out ears. And you can use any of your Easter die cuts.
Oh, I was going to ask where you got the ears.
These I actually got off the stitched rabbits, but you could do any of the ears, even the smaller ones. You can use depending on what size of paper dolls or these portraits, whatever you use. Just look at your rabbit dies, and you can pull any of them. And then I just used my Le Pen and went over it like 3 times. And then use watercolor in the center.
Very fun.
So,
I'm trying to remember what the name of this is, Becky. Oh, Bunny Hop. I should have known that. So this is Bunny Hop.
but he has tons, and there's all kinds. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got tons of rabbit dies here. And any of them, you can use any of their ears. Because I just cut the ears off, and
It's very fun.
yeah.
It's just fun, you
Yeah.
know.
And then just added some ribbon, and then I'll add this to the front of a card. So, and then this one,
Wow.
Katie Petit last week was doing a card where she colored in washi tape. So I thought, wait a minute, I've got this new charcoal fabric tape. So I used this wide one here, and I just put that on the front of the card.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's this
I have
thin,
to feel it for everybody.
and it's not quite big enough to go all the way across, so then I use this thin black one that's in here along the bottom.
That's going along the
Yeah.
bottom here, guys.
And I used my watercolor pencils and just colored it in, and then I took some white paint and put it on a brayer, and then just kind of
Oh
up.
my gosh.
So that's why you can kind of see some white. I didn't do it real strong, but
So
you can
real
kind of see
light,
it to
okay.
kind of age it a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to get up close so people can see what you're talking about. So you watercolored it with Tim Holtz watercolor pencils, and I think we have all 6 sets now, so you can pick one out. And then she brayered white paint over the top so you can see.
Well, it's not real thick, but it's,
Yeah, but it makes
adds
it
a
look
little
like
bit.
fabric. Yeah, it's really cool.
and it was a very quick card to do. And then I just, since I had my charcoal out there, I just added a piece of charcoal, why I did this, I don't know. I watercolored the charcoal.
Oh, this. Oh,
I
okay.
watercolored
So
the
that's a
ephemera.
laser
like,
cut.
Yeah, the laser cuts.
Well,
So
that's
for
good
the
to know
inside.
about the charcoal collection because it is black and white
Yeah.
and gray. But here, then you can just add the colors you
Mm-hmm.
want. So if you wanted to do a theme of colors, you could certainly do that. Like maybe a graduation card doing school colors, or maybe someone's favorite color,
Yeah.
Becky, is purple.
Yeah.
You can get
You
your
could do
purple
purple.
crayon, your
And you-
dusty Concord, or
Yeah. And if you don't have, I mean, I know a lot of people have their washi tapes and their fabric tapes because, so you could do it with the washi tape because that's what she did. She used the washi tape, but I kind of like the fabric because you got the texture.
I think the texture is really cool. I don't know how you came up with the white paint technique, but I really like
Well,
it.
she does that all the time.
Oh,
Katie
does she?
Petit
Over the
does,
top
yeah.
of her?
She always does that on her projects. So I thought, well, let's try
Give it a try.
Yeah.
That's what I love. You try things.
Yeah.
Bring them to Memory Bound so we
Yeah.
can see how great they work.
And then
Here we go.
the eggs. And Katie showed this too about adding rub-ons to eggs. So I thought I'd kind of tell you some, they're real easy to do. It takes no time at all. But if you're not careful, you don't want to move it because the egg, this is flat. And if you move it, I'll kind of show you.
Oh, you're going to do one for
We'll
us?
do one real quick just to show you. Because here I cracked one, and I don't think the normal person's going to know that.
Or it looks distressed.
Yeah.
You mean so the eggs are not cracked, guys. 'cause
No, these are wood eggs.
they're wood eggs.
And they come already pre-painted, so
All right,
they
that
look
was-
like a
that was my
egg.
next
Yeah.
question.
No, you don't have to. They have them natural, and they have them wood-colored, or wood-colored.
They're wood with
Oh,
white color.
Yeah, there we go. And you just kind of lay it on the egg. Let's see if I can do this backwards. And I don't even use a
You
tool.
don't have to do it backwards if you don't want to.
I just rub it on, and you
use
just
your
kind of
finger.
take a, whoops. Now on live TV, it's not going to work, is it?
We all understand.
But you just kind of rub it on, and then see how it's already coming off.
Yeah.
And then just kind of move to a different section because this is flat and your egg is round. Oh, geez. This sounded like a good idea when I was at home.
It is great. And they're actually loving it, and they're asking where you got the wood eggs.
these I ordered at Amazon, and then I got some more at Hobby Lobby. But you can also use ceramic eggs, which you can get like at Hobby Lobby or any of those too. But see how now this, I'm lifting this up, but I'm just doing, I got to keep my finger on here.
Finger, you hold it down with one finger
Yeah.
as you do it.
And then just kind of turn it around and press it in. And it doesn't take much. Like I said, you can use a tool, but since I was holding on, and it's just easier since it will work this way.
And,
I mean, their stuff
like
is
it's
really
working
good.
really well.
And if any of you got the Simple Stories, they had a bunny on their rub-ons.
okay.
I looked, but I think they're
On
all sold
Spring
out.
Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you get it off, just kind of rub it real quick and make sure you got any wrinkles out. But there you go.
Oh my gosh, you did make that look easy. Elena says she's doing them this week. Her eggs are arriving today.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a cute, and you can use, like, these are from a multiple collection.
So just get out your leftover rub-ons.
Yeah.
And
Or there's a bunch here.
yes, or we do
I
have
did pull some.
we do have a lot here too. You know what would be really pretty are these charcoal ones.
Yeah.
So we've got the charcoal, and then we have kaleidoscope also.
Yeah.
That would have all your bright colors.
So any rub-ons would work.
And Becky brought over the ones from wherever.
I don't know if there's really anything in there.
There are some. Well, this sheet here would be good with the florals.
But yeah, and then you can put them in something or whatever. And they're easy.
I like the idea of it. Then you've got them for every year.
And I know there were some people that were saying when I posted this out there that they were going to put it on real eggs. And I was like, and one said, do you think I could blow it out the stuff? And I'm like, that's going to be very delicate and you're rubbing it on. I think you'll probably break it.
Give it a try
Yeah.
and then let us know how it works.
And then another person was going to do hard-boiled eggs and do it. And they're like, I don't want to waste my rub-ons.
There's a lot of comments like that.
Yeah.
Well, they do love these. There's a lot of good comments, and the hearts are flowing through on this. There is a question from Marcy. She wants to know if you can spray with clear acrylic then over the
You
top.
probably could. I don't know why you couldn't.
So
Yeah. But it's just quick and easy.
it's
and,
really fun. It's really
as you
neat.
saw, that didn't take any
They're
time
kind
at
of
all.
like grown-up eggs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, and then I also brought this just because I didn't know if people knew that you can rub-ons
Rub on your rub-on.
on material and use it that way too.
So that is a rub-on.
That's
that
a
you just
rub-on,
put on
yeah.
a little piece of fabric.
Yeah, and I was
What
gonna,
a nice embellishment.
Yeah. So I thought I'd tell people that too, that you can do that as well.
I'm guessing rub-ons can go on a
They
lot
can
of
go on
things that
anything.
we
Yeah.
candles, jars.
Yeah.
I know Katie Petite has done them on candles.
Yeah. And then
And
here,
we're wondering about this.
I had a lot of old antique ribbon, or some of it's not antique, but it was all loose. So you take a ruler
Oh my
like
gosh.
this.
Wait a minute. These were new rulers?
These are all new rulers.
I just thought you had antique rulers
no,
here.
no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well this
No. You take a
I'm very
ruler like
curious.
this, and then the first one, I just rubbed on with a brush
What?
or something, and I added some ink, and then I'm like, this is taking a long time. So then I just took my ink pad and ran it across
Okay.
and got I did 3 different colors of ink. I can tell you. Hold on.
So you just rubbed an ink pad across these.
Yeah. And I use Scorched Timber, what did I use? Ground Espresso and Vintage Photo.
So
And I
vintage
just-
photo, scorched timber.
And I did the lightest color all the way across. And then I
Ground
just took
Espresso.
one. Here, I'll just rub this. And then, like, this kind of has different areas, like you can see here.
Right.
Here, let me do it up there. And then I just rub it across and get the areas highlighted. And I do that with 3 different colors, so you have this kind of variegated
Yeah.
look. And then
So it's scorched timber, vintage photo, and ground espresso.
And you could use any browns that you have. You don't have to
Right.
use. And then I went and
Okay,
got
pulled book
stamps. And I used,
Field notes.
where do you see it? Oh yeah, field notes.
Field notes.
And I did,
Eccentric.
yes, I used both of those. And I just took it with a small stamp block and just stamped them different places.
So Becky, what ink did you use when you stamped on them? Was
When I stamped, I used archival.
okay? Oh my gosh, look at
And
that,
you just have,
guys.
and so they look old, and then I just put it in my craft room, and I can see them easily, and I don't have to untangle them.
Yes,
Which
I get it. Mine are in jars,
Yes.
and they're wadded up in jars.
Yeah. So this way, they're out. I can see it. I can see what I have, and I can put them in a little container.
Okay, so this was this.
Yes.
I would never have guessed that.
And I just bought.
You can buy
super
those pretty
cheap.
inexpensively.
Yes. And I just ordered, and the more you buy, the cheaper they are. And I think I bought like 12 of them. And then it makes it cool, and
It's great. It's a great way to be organized and look really cool.
that's my thing. This year I cleaned my whole craft room and got all organized.
Did you really?
And I have to tell an organized tip.
We
This
want to
is
hear
my-
all your tips.
This was my favorite thing in my whole craft room that I did. I saw somewhere they took a pot rack, the standing
Like a
pot
hanging,
racks.
or a standing pot
A
rack?
standing pot rack that you can adjust to your cupboard size.
Okay.
And I put my cutters, my scoreboards, and my stamping platform all in this little thing. And it takes up about this much room. And they all stand on line, and they're all right there.
Oh my gosh, that's a wonderful idea.
That was my favorite thing in my craft room. I'm like, all that stuff takes up this little space.
It's kind of like we have the clutter keeper here, which isn't as big as a pot rack, but maybe if you didn't have as many things as Becky.
Okay, Kelly.
I understand.
Here.
I got the same issues.
Look at that.
Oh, wait, pull it up. She's going to show us a picture.
There.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
Yes.
like just something else?
That is really nice to have, because that stuff at my house is kind of laying flat here and there.
Yeah, and now it's all
stuck here and
together
there.
right by my craft table, and I just go and pull it off to use it, and then I put it right back, and it takes up no space. It takes up less space than one at my scoreboard.
I believe that because I know those things are big and bulky.
Yeah.
Michelle said she's got something similar for her cutters. And you're going to love this. Elena's motto is buy more, save more.
There you go.
And Sharon said you could do this with paint sticks also.
Yes, you could.
So you could do it with paint sticks?
Yeah. That's even cheaper.
Yeah, probably. Very cool. I think it's really cool. They're asking where you got your rack, your
Amazon.
Amazon. So,
And they're not expensive.
so just go to Amazon and search on a
Yeah.
pan
And they're
rack
adjustable.
so you can fit your space.
Yeah. Because I only used half of it. I took the other half and I'm storing that until I get more stuff.
To get more
And
stuff.
then I'll put it in there.
Okay. They're asking a lot of questions
Okay.
about the album that your stamps are in.
I got these at Hobby Lobby. And they come with these pages for like this type of stamp.
And
I
we
put 'em in
have
these
and we
close
have the
sleeves.
Tim Holtz
Yeah.
pages like that are a little bit his might be a little bit heavier. They're kind of like the Sizzix
Yeah.
things. So
But and it's good for the Tim Holtz ones. I've got, and it has a thing on the outside where you can label. So I've got all mine by subject and
Nice.
designer and all that stuff. So it's a
handy
good way to,
handy dandy.
yeah.
Well, I think these rulers are amazing. I thought they were old rulers.
No.
I really did, Becky. Very cool.
So then the very last thing are these paper clips.
Wait,
And I'm
paper
going to
clips?
show you, they're paper clips.
Oh,
so.
I can see. Yep, I see
So
these paper
I'm going to
clips.
show you how to do these. And I did do instructions up.
You know
that Kelly
what,
can take a
Becky?
picture of.
I took a picture of this, but look what Becky did for us, you guys. This is really special.
And I know that Cindy has shown paper clips, but this is just a little bit different.
We love it.
So this first one is kind of like what Cindy did. It's just 2 pieces of paper where you put your paper clip over the inside paper and then glue it to the outside. But the trick is, and Annette Green showed these on her video the other day, but to cut 1/4 of an inch off the back,
Oh.
and then, because otherwise...
we haven't done that, and they're
Yes.
hard to get apart.
They're hard to get apart, and then you end up
Yes,
separating.
I get it.
So
Love it.
if you cut that off, it just slides, oops, right on. So that's the hint. To cut
So-
this 1/4 of an inch off, and it comes right off. And you can add, like she was saying, you can add some twine and beads. And then I just decorated that. And it's very simple. I don't even think
So inside there is a paper clip.
yeah. So like here, I thought I'd show you.
Oh, yay.
Here's the inside paper. Here's the outside paper. And I already decorated it and inked it and all that. And this is the craft core.
Okay.
And you cut a 1/4 of an inch off of both papers. And I've got the dimensions of what I did, but you can cut these at any size. So I think just because I wrote that down, that's what you got to go with. You can use anything. But
You
this,
do you, right, Becky?
Yes, you do you. And you can do I've got old and vintage because that's what I like, but you could do the same thing with Doodlebug.
Yeah, whatever your
Anything.
style is.
Yes, because I think I've got a little of everything in there. So I sanded the paper, I rounded corners, but you don't have to do that either. So you have your outside paper, put the paper clip on, and then you take this one, oops, wrong way, and make sure don't
Put
glue
your short
it.
edge with your short
Yeah,
edge.
yeah, don't do this and go, oh my gosh, I glued it
Oops.
wrong. Look first, and then glue, and then you just glue that, and then you've got your paper clip.
So you glue it over the top of the
You
paper
glue it
clip.
over the top of the paper clip, yeah. And one thing I would not do, I used one paper clip that had that
the
stuff on the outside,
yeah.
and that's this one. And see how it does not close?
you mean it's got like that
That
plastic?
plastic stuff
right.
over it. That's not a good one to use.
So use the cheaper ones,
Use
the
cheap-
value
yeah.
paper clips.
And you can use the big ones or you can use the little ones on most of these. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have, use. And then just glue that on. And then you've got a paper clip to use in your journals or your photo albums or whatever.
I love that.
And yeah, so it's just a quick and easy thing. So that one's pretty simple.
But I think the tip about cutting off part of it, because I've
makes a
seen
big
these and they're
difference.
kind of hard to open.
They're very hard. And you can't do it with one hand. You got to get both hands. And then
Right,
you're trying to get your
right.
paper. And now you can just slide it on.
It's like Paper Clips 201.
Yes. So that's what that one is. This one is a lot like the other one. But this one had... The bigger paper is on the inside. This one, the bigger or smaller paper is on the inside. Does that make sense?
Not
Here.
really. Not really.
Okay. Here, this one I used, the bigger paper is on the inside.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I
Now, on
understand now.
this one, got too many things here. This one, the smaller paper is on the inside.
Okay.
Just so you don't see it. And the reason for this is because, and this one's cut just a little bit smaller, because what we're going to do is put an eyelet in it. Mm-hmm. So you want the inside to be smaller so that you can put that.
So it's the matter of how you want it to look. If you
Yes.
want that extra piece to show
Then you
on
do,
the outside,
yeah.
or if you don't want it to. But you have to have two pieces either way.
Because you got to hide the paper clip.
Right.
So this one, you have the same paper, but it's cut a lot shorter. It's about an inch shorter. And then, and like I said, everything's written on this thing, so you can
So
see
the
that.
eyelet doesn't go through that inside
And you do the
piece.
same thing. You still want to cut it a 1/4 of an inch smaller. And then you're going to put it like this, but then you've got room to put your eyelet.
Cool. That's really neat.
And you
Becky.
can decorate them like that one. I had paper doll. Well, here I have a paper doll on this side with the wings. And this side I just stamped it. Mm-hmm. So you can decorate it however you want. And then just put an eyelet in, like this one.
There, she's got an eyelet in that one.
Yeah. And you don't have to, like this one I did not decorate the back. I just decorated the front and tied in ribbon.
Right. So you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. I didn't realize I did the same stamp on
That's okay. They're different though. The papers.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's nice to see the same thing done different ways.
Yeah. So that's those two. Let's get rid of those.
Well, they're loving your projects.
And then this one, no, I guess that's the same as that last one. It's just with the rubber
Okay.
clip. That's why I brought an extra one just to show. This one,
Ooh.
she had a die that she cut this out with, but I didn't, so I just cut the corners with my
With the circle
punch and did that with all of that. This one's a little different, and this is the same as that, but I just rounded the edges. Instead of taking the circle off, I rounded the edges. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to do with this one is you cut your two papers. You've got your inside and your outside. On the inside, you want to put your paper clip on, but and this may sound weird, but all right, let me start this way. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Erase that from your mind. Strike it from the
Back
record.
up. You take your big paper that you're going to use, open it up, and put your paper clip here. And you mark it on each side. Make a little dot on each side.
Okay.
Then take your X-Acto knife and cut that line between dot to dot. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
All right, yep.
And then you take your paper clip and you poke through it. Let's get rid of this.
So you want your paper clip to
To
poke
poke
through there?
through. And then you're going to tie so that you can tie a ribbon. Okay? But before we do that, did I do that? Okay, wait a minute.
Okay. One more time.
So now, this is when you put the paper clip
Then
on.
you put the paper clip on the other
Then
piece.
you put it through here. And so now you're ready to tie your twine on. So you tie your twine. And then once your twine's tied, if you want that to show, you leave it. If you don't want it to show, like on there, I pushed it back down when I went to glue this in. I glued both sides and put it in, and then I took my paper clip and punched it down. So all you see there is a little tiny bit that I tied the twine
Let
to.
me flip it over. I think you can. Oops. We're having a little focus issue. We're still having a focus issue. I don't know why we can't zoom in on that, but so this twine is tied to the little piece of
It's
a paper
tied to
clip
this,
that's sticking out,
just like
here.
this. So I would tie my twine on with that, glue it on, and then you'd have a little bow. And if you want that to stay out, you leave it. If you don't, you just push it in while the glue is still wet.
Why it's still wet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the glue will dry, and then it'll be just like that. And then you have a bigger paper clip.
Very fun. I
So-
think that's neat because then you got something to kind of tie it on to.
Yeah.
And nobody believes that there's paper clips in these, you guys.
Yeah. And then this one's a little different. This I used just a piece of paper and like here,
Okay.
folded it in half, but this time I did not cut the 1/4 of an inch off because we're not going to actually go over paper with this. This is going to come off the side because the paper clip is on the side. So this one, when we put it in an album, we'll just, well, here. Can't get it with my bow. So it's going to be on the side.
That is really fun though, Becky.
So for this one, we don't cut the 1/4 of an inch. Every other one, we've cut a 1/4 of an inch off. This one, we're just taking it, folding it in half. And then I use the Elizabeth Craft
Oh,
die.
I know which one it is.
And I
It's got
couldn't
the
find it.
postage. And
Yeah.
we have to order those
It's this one.
because I don't have that one yet. And that
This
one of
is
the
a
new
nice
dyes utilizes that one too. I got to remember to tell Diane. Maybe she's listening.
And I took this for the smallest postage frame and then the next size.
That's what she cut this.
Yeah,
with here.
I used the frame inside and the postage stamp, both.
Very cool.
And then I just did that, and I stamped an image on the front. And I did rub-ons on some of these. I did stamps on some of these. And that's down here, I just took a piece of ephemera and then stamped on that.
Oh, okay.
And when after you get this piece done, you just go on your paper clip and put it through the paper clip this way, glue it shut, and then you tie your charm. You can take your charms and hook your charms to that, hook ribbon to it. Like here, I added some charms, and I added ribbon once it's glued. So
And
that
then
one's,
I would say you have to watch how you put your paper clip on, depending if you want to clip it to the right side or the
Yes.
left side of the page.
that's good because
I noticed that when you were putting it on.
Yep,
It
I
depends
didn't pay attention until
well,
I
it
was
depends
like-
on how you want to do it, though. You
Yeah.
could do it either way.
Yep. And that's very simple to do, and you just decorate it. and
I
you're
like
done.
that. I think I can handle that one very easily.
And then the very last one, Diana showed this several times. Now, what did
Oh,
I do
yes,
with my
yeah.
thing? That's over here. Okay, so for this, it's like her, and I've done this many times. I've made charms out of these holders, and then I put a loop pin up here, and then I dangle stuff. Well, this is using it as an actual paper clip that you can clip to your stuff. Normally, we would cover that up. And then you can just take the paper, wrap it around, glue it, and then you can add an eyelet if you want, and then add your charms, because this can now go on a page. Where
Before it was just kind
it
of a
was
dangle.
just a charm. It was just
Yeah,
making it into
you're right,
a charm.
just a charm.
With what like Diane was showing. And I just added a rub-on, added a drop pin and some charms. And now you can actually go in, if I can hold this paper strip.
I know,
in it.
and it's a thin paper too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that,
And then you just
Becky.
have that way to do it.
So it's
But-
the same thing, but your paper clip is...
Yeah. You got to
on
make
the
sure just
outside.
to wrap it underneath instead of wrapping it over. If you want a charm, you wrap it over. If you just want a paper clip, you make sure to wrap it under that last thing.
That's a great visual.
Now, the one tip I have
We love your tips.
is when you go to put the eyelet in, the first one I did, I was like, oh, I'm going to take that. It'll be so much easier to put an eyelet on if you take it off. Well,
Oh, oops.
if you take it off, you can't put it back on. So now this is going to be a charm.
I like the blue. It's really pretty.
Yeah. So now I've got to use that as a charm.
So
in
you
the
have to
future.
put your paper clip
Yes.
in before you do the eyelet.
Yes. And then you just do it on here, and that's another way to use that same technique, but in two different ways. A charm or a paper clip.
Very amazing. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we have any questions, Becky. I'm just giving you guys a view of Becky's projects that she just showed us. And we are lucky that Becky is normal, and you'll see her posting quite often on the Tim Holtz Attics. So if you're out on that Facebook page,
Yeah.
which if you love these types of projects and the Tim Holtz style, then you should definitely go out and search on Tim Holtz Attics.
And Elizabeth Craft, or not Elizabeth Craft, her too.
Oh, and 49 and Market.
And 49 and
absolutely.
Market. They have a lot of good stuff out there too.
And Becky, we
And-
just ordered the brand new 49 and Market this morning.
I can't wait. And then one thing, last time when I was here, people asked about the Instagram, and I told them
Oh, yes.
I wasn't used to what my thing was.
Yes.
And I said Thrap. Well, it's not Thrap. It's Thrap 1.
So BTHRAP 1.
Yeah.
And
that's
Janet
got-
can post that here. And
And
sometimes we need a visual.
Yeah, and I messed it up last time. So that's where I post all the craft stuff.
We'll definitely get on Instagram and find Becky's Instagram page at BTHRAP1.
Yeah.
And, oh, she just put it on there. Thank you, Janet.
Because I gave out the wrong information last time when people were asking, and I
Oops.
was like, ugh.
She's trying to direct us to somewhere else.
Yeah, I like, oh, this isn't right.
Well, Elena says she loves all your ideas and tips, and Peggy says so many fun ideas. Thank you. Kay loves your ideas, and Tiffany says thanks for sharing. Mary from Maine made it, and she gave you all kinds of hearts. Beautiful projects.
Well,
They
thank
love
you.
and they're talking about these would be great bookmark ideas.
Yeah,
also.
yeah, you could use these for bookmarks very
absolutely,
easily. Especially getting that. The main thing is just cutting everything off.
I know.
before the
I
bench.
agree because I have seen those. Have I made one? I think I made one once, a couple probably, and I remember they were kind of hard
They're
to get
hard,
on and
so,
off,
Yeah.
which makes them harder to make too. I think.
So and these are all quick and easy things. And like I said, you can stamp, rub-ons, paper dolls, ephemera, whatever you want to decorate.
And make
them
it
with.
your own style
Yes,
too.
bright and cheery, or grungy.
And Chris follows you on Instagram already.
Oh,
she
good.
figured it out, even
Well,
if
good.
you gave out the wrong the wrong address. So I'm glad you're. And poor Chris, she had to shovel snow this morning or snow blow or whatever in Minnesota. So she
Yuck.
got here a little bit late. And Lisa's been making a bunch of paper clips. They love, love, love. So anyway, Becky, we so appreciate you coming today.
Well, thank you.
She's semi-local. It's a little bit of a drive. Is it about
About a
40
half hour.
or so?
Yeah, it's not bad.
So thank you so much.
And I'm here all the time. I have to, as you
we
said.
do love it when Becky comes in, and she does come in and visit us and comes to the crops. Everybody knows Becky's got. I think you've been in the same place at our big
Just
crop.
about.
She's in the corner.
Yeah.
So if you're there, walk on back and say hi and find out what she's working on, because it's always something amazing.
I have drills and stuff usually. I didn't the last one.
Yeah, she does. We would like to see your craft area, I think, because
It looks nice now.
do you ever feel like you're going to run out of stuff? Do you ever
No.
worry about running out? Ah, okay. All right, we got to turn now. We're going back around. Becky's mom is here, and she started laughing when we asked if she's worried if I asked her if she's worried if she'd run out of stuff, and Her mom giggled from the back. So obviously your mom's been to your craft room.
Well, when I was cleaning it, it took me weeks to clean it. And she's like, how can it possibly take you that long? And I said, I'm going through everything to see if I still want it, if I need to get rid of it. And I get organizing
That's a big job.
Yeah, see?
I vacuumed under my desk last night, and I thought that made a huge change in my area. So thank you, Becky, and thanks everyone for joining us. Have a crafty week. We had a lot of questions about whether we're open on Friday, and we are open. We're closed on Easter Sunday, but otherwise we are here all week long, and we've got lots of good demos coming up this week too. So we will see you soon, and have a great, wonderful day.